another biggest mistake. Well, approximately 40% goes to the fuel. So we are at 32 plus 40, 72% already out. Then if you have high insurance, your payments are high, you not really know how to dispatch well, you actually now running the charity business. I don't know how you guys still survive in there. Maybe you are putting stuff on credit cards. Maybe you running around and borrowing money to survive. Because if you're not really driving yourself and you have a bunch of drivers and you have a new equipment, and if you actually just averaging whatever is national average right now, let's just go back. Let me check right now because we are almost done with January, right? So let's see what they're gonna give us for trend lines. So let's go back. Let's talk for driving, reefer, and flatbed. Okay, so 214 for driving, 247 for flatbed, and 257 for reefer. This is a national average, but again, that's if you know what you're doing. Most of you are not hitting that average for the whole miles. You are way lower. So if you really calculate and you really good with numbers, some of you need to make a rough decision. Maybe you need to go back and just be a driver somewhere else where the people can dispatch you. Maybe it's a bigger mega carrier and they have some lanes which pay better. Maybe for some of you, there's a time to just go back and be a driver. And maybe for some of you, this is a time to simply file the bankruptcy and maybe start all over a little bit later. I don't want to sound mean, but those decisions are not easy to make. Lots of people got to trucking in the last year and a half, 2 years, without having a clue how this industry works. They were watching all the YouTubers, they were watching all the other people getting the trucks and telling how much they're making. But remember, a lot of people not telling the truth. And when you ask them to show the proof how much you made off the truck, which you're not driving, which you bought for $200,000, when you have a brand new MC, when you have outsourcing company which has no clue how to actually connect the loads, did you really make money? Let's be honest. Just be honest with me. Did you make money? No, you didn't. But did you share that information with people around you? No, because people keep lying. Come to trucking. You buy 5 trucks and you're gonna make money. I see the reality every day. You know how many times I have students in my class who got into trucking that way, and unfortunately, they had to get out and they lost lots and lots of money. So my message for you, learn this industry, learn how to calculate operational cost, see what's going on now, and only then decide if that's something you can handle. For people who are already in the market right now, for people who need to survive, well, maybe learn how to do it better. Maybe look what can be cut, right? Maybe you need to switch the markets. Maybe you need to switch equipment. But you still need to freaking sit down and look at your numbers. Especially, this is a great month, right? How many of you don't even know if you really made money as a company in 2023 or not? Because most of you not really looking at the numbers weekly, monthly, you hoping that you're making money, but after you probably gonna see your accountant, you're gonna have a tough few days because or you lost a lot of money, or you barely made it, or the decisions that you made did not make sense to get an extra equipment when you don't even know how to hire drivers, or hopefully you were smart enough and you change the way you were running business. Maybe you changed the markets, maybe you went to the shorter miles, maybe you actually improve your dispatch and other stuff, right? So hopefully you still survive 2023. But let's go back. So just remember one fact: 300,000 new jobs are created in logistics related jobs. So There's an opportunity for people, the young generation, for people who switching careers, for people who looking for the new adventures. There you go. Truck in the industry, which is offering you new opportunities. And always, as I am saying in my class, trucking is not going anywhere. America is not going to be able to survive without trucks. And unfortunately, you like it or you do not like it, but you still need to have a pro dispatchers to help you to move all this freight, right? You still need to have a pro drivers who actually can help country to move. Because we're going to go to the next fact. And we're going to say that driver benefits, if you work for the bigger companies, if you have any health care, anything else, well, it's gonna cost company 8% of the cost. Also, the North American market is estimated to be worth $1.5 trillion in 2024. So look at this. We finished 2023 with 940 trillions. And we are actually still gonna increase it. And here is the question. But if this number is increasing, why the hell market is not paying, right? Kind of logical question. Well, because simply we have supply and demand and we have overcapacity of the trucks and people who jump into the truck. And remember, 476,000 trucks were bought in 2023. And we're going to go through the numbers, how many new companies. So simply supply and demand. But that doesn't mean that the industry is not growing. It does not mean that spending for moving freight is not increasing. So you need to logically understand. So if we've been in logistics, if you and me own trucking company, if you a truck driver or dispatcher, how the hell can we change that? That the money spent on the freight movement actually improve that market. And I can tell you this, only with us sticking together and saying no to cheap freight. Only together we can show them, well, we cannot run charity loads. So it starts simply with every dispatcher. If we're gonna start saying no and they cannot move freight, eventually the brokers have to ask for more. They ask for more, well, they have to pass stuff for us. Not one person can change this market, not two people can change the market, not 1,000 people can change the market, but all together, if we would start negotiation and actually turn down some contracts and being together in this, we can change the market. And this is my opinion, guys. So our trucks keep moving and they stay profitable even in this market. So there is lots and lots of knowledge behind that blah 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 blah, right? But let's go back to this article one more time. I am giving credit to Boychin and Logistics, and I found this in the group, which is Trucking Freight and Load Rates group on Facebook. So let's go. First, the first fact that in United States in 2023 there was 476,000 trucks sold. 476,000. This is a lot of freaking trucks. Just picture 476,000. Okay. That's fact number 2. The total revenue of the USA trucking industry was more than 940 billion. 940. Well, hi guys. It's me, Alex, and of course, happy Monday. Hopefully you can join me. I've been just scrolling through Facebook, and I do belong to lots and lots of groups, and one of them actually Trucking Freight Loads and Rates group, which has 18,000 members, and I do like it because they actually share lots of cool information. If you are in logistics, if you actually in trucking, you always want to stay on the top of any highlights, any innovations, any news, any scams. You want to succeed, you'd better read something that's gonna give you knowledge. Stop reading nonsense, but actually start improving, start posting something which makes sense. So I was going through and I saw some article which was posted, maybe kind of as advertisement, but it comes from Bochen and Logistics, and I did check them on Safer. They are actually from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I did like the article. Whoever wrote the article for them, or if they had somebody in the office, but the article is about 30 fascinating facts about logistics and the trucking industry, right? And they're asking, well, how many do you know? So let's go together through all of this, and then I'll answer your questions. So first, the first fact which they're given, and guys, I'm going to be reading because I have my screen behind my phone. I did not really want to go through desktop to go live. It's just something really fast we're going to do. But of course, it's never fast because Alex likes to blah, blah, blah. That's why probably I am one of the not as worst dispatchers out there, not the most desperate one, right? Because I love to blah, blah, blah. Remember that communication skills is the one thing that you have to have as a quality to become a pro dispatcher, right? We always blah, blah, blah. But besides that, we need to have logical thinking. We need to know how to negotiate. We need to know how to put dots together so our trucks keep moving and they stay profitable, even in this market. So there is lots and lots of knowledge behind that blah, 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 right? But let's go back to this article. One more time, I am giving credit to Bochen and Logistics, and I found this in the group, which is Trucking Freight and Load Rates group on Facebook. So let's go. First, the first fact, that in United States, in 2023, there was 476,000 trucks sold. 476,000. This is a lot of freaking trucks. Just picture 476,000. Okay. That's fact number 2. The total revenue of the USA trucking industry was more than 940 billion. 940 billion, guys. When I started teaching my classes, I remember in like 2000, I started teaching, I think 2020, right? And when I was preparing, I was like going through the data from the Labor Department, from all the statistics, and we were about 720 billion. So look the difference, 720 to 940 billions. That's the actually revenue of the trucking industry. That's what people spend for moving freight. When I talk about people, I'm not talking about customers, how much they spend for the goods, but actually the freight, right? That's what they pay us, motor carriers, to move freight from A to B. That's a lot of freaking money. So can you picture if you can take a little piece of that? Let's say you're a dispatcher and you can dispatch some of that 940 billion of gross. Well, probably you can move out of the USA and buy some house on Caribbeans pretty soon if you know what you're doing, right? That was fact number 2. Fact number 3. There are 16 million heavy and trailer trucks in the USA, but only 3.5 million certified professional truck drivers. And out of that 3.5 million, only 1.9 are employed drivers. So let's go back to this, right? Well, that's almost like 40% of CDL drivers, they are not employed. And probably because most of them, they don't want to be away from family. Maybe some of them don't really see beneficial to stay in trucking anymore, so they quit because of market being tough. But this is a big number. But look at this, that over 9 million people directly depend on the logistics industry as their main source of income. 9 million people. Can you believe that? 9 million people are actually able to feed their families, and they work in trucking industry. And we are talking about dispatchers, pro drivers, logistics specialists, brokers, safety managers, probably mechanics. We're talking about 9 million people. This is a huge number, guys. Probably that number is bigger than some of the countries, the population of some countries, right? I don't know, let's talk about Moldova. How many people live in Moldova? Maybe what, 3 million people? So this is like 3 Moldovas, right? Working in trucking industry. Everybody from Moldova, 3 of them working in trucking industry. So this is a big number. I am actually surprised. And let's go to the fact number 5. There is a 587 self-employed owner-operators. 587,000 self-employed owner-operators. So tell me, future dispatchers or dispatchers who tell me that it's impossible to find actually owner-operator to dispatch, really? From 587,000, you cannot find 2 or 3? Well, that means or you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know how to run business. Because being a company dispatcher, there is no brainer. You don't really have to run the business. You becoming an employee, right? So if you decide to become company dispatcher, that's just another job. Somebody's taking care of it, but hopefully you still know the facts and you know how to do dispatch, that you don't put company out of the business because you're not bringing revenue, right? You still need to have knowledge. But for self-employed independent dispatchers, there is a whooping 587 owner-operators, thousands and thousands. Okay, that was a cool fact. Fact number 6. Each year, 300,000, listen to this, 300,000 new logistics-related jobs are created. This is not a small number. 300,000 new jobs are created. Okay, fact number 7. An average driver receives 67 cents per mile for moving freight. This is statistics for 2023. And again, we're talking about average. Some of you are making more, some of you are making less, but an average driver receives 67 cents per mile in 2023. And there is a number that owners of the companies needs to remember, that the driver wages cost 32% of freight cost in the USA. So whatever you make, 32% goes to salary of the driver. Remember another biggest mistake, well, approximately 40% goes to the fuel. So we are at 32 plus 40, 72% already out. Then if you have high insurance, your payments are high, you not really know how to dispatch well, you actually now running the charity business. I don't know how you guys still surviving there. Maybe only with us sticking together and saying no to cheap freight. Only together we can show them, well, we cannot run charity loads. So it starts simply with every dispatcher. If we're gonna start saying no and they cannot move freight, eventually the brokers have to ask for more. They ask for more, well, they have to pass stuff for us. Not one person can change this market, not two people can change the market, not 1,000 people can change the market, but all together, if we would start negotiation and actually turn down some contracts and being together in this, we can change the market. And this is my opinion, guys. So instead of sitting there and crying and telling that TQL takes advantage of us and Coyote doesn't want to pay, or giving advice for brand new owner of the company with one truck, oh, you're so stupid, just go direct. You can get all those lanes, good pay lanes. Really? Show me at least one lane that you got with brand new MC, with one truck, with a guy who just entered the business. All those trucking gurus, show me, please. I will take your classes. I will actually spend thousands of dollars so you can teach me how to do that. You cannot do that because there are still principles in logistics. As much as you need capacity to service that lane, there is also business decision. Let's say I am growing tomatoes somewhere in Florida. And in a season which is starting maybe, I don't know, end of June to July, I will have 30 loads per week. There is a Jose or whoever's coming to me, or I don't know who is watching me right now, and he has one truck. And he was listening to all Facebook gurus, YouTube gurus, to everybody who insulted him, telling him, oh, come on, man, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't really need dispatcher. Or if you have dispatcher, your dispatcher does not know what the hell she or he is doing. Go direct. So let's say I am the owner of that farm and I am looking at this guy, seems like a nice guy, comes to me, I've been in business for a long time as a driver, but he comes to me and he tells me, well, can we make a deal? Can I just take loads from you directly because I don't want to pay dispatcher, I don't really want to pay broker. And here I am busy with growing my freaking tomatoes. I am busy with making sure that I sell those tomatoes to Walmart, Costco, Aldi, whatever I'm selling them to. And I am looking at him and I say, listen, honey, I mean, whatever, let's name his Mike, our pro driver, pro owner operator, brand new carrier Mike. Mike, as much as I love you, as much as I would love to help you, but I don't need an extra headache. Plus, you only have one truck. I need the company who has a capacity of the trucks, and the ratio cannot be 10. It has to be higher because by the time 10 trucks leave somewhere, well, they still need to come back. So the capacity of the equipment has to be probably ratio 1 to 2. So if I have to service 10 loads per week, I need a company who has at least 20 reefers to make sure that we still maintaining movement on schedule, because I am not willing to lose my contract with Walmart. I am not willing to lose my contract with Costco just because you don't have enough trucks. So in this case, if you do not have those 20 trucks, unfortunately, as much as I love you, but no, I am not gonna be even listening to you, even if you give me the better rate, right? So that's why we have brokers, right? So the brokers will find 10 different mics, but it's gonna be their responsibility to make sure that they will move this freight. So please, my dear trucking gurus, my dear experts in dispatching, when you start telling everybody go direct, understand not everybody can go direct. First, dispatcher legally cannot go direct because they do not have a 30. And because of all those advices, that's why we have misrepresentation of dispatcher's duties. And what is our duty? Our duty is to provide service for motor carrier, to actually find the loads for them. But we are dealing with freight brokers who have MC. If I want to go direct, I will be representing carrier. I'm not going just because I'm an independent dispatcher trying to find the freight direct. If I want to do that, then I better go and open the 30, get my surety bond, and if I am a great salesperson, well, I can go and do that. Do you think it's easy to even do that? You have to be in logistics for a few years. You need to understand the market, the seasons, how to even bid on those loads. And that's why market have been affected so much. Not only because we got extra people coming into the market, extra overcapacity, but also we had so many people who decided to become the freight brokers, right? And they had no clue. So what are they doing? They are underbidding. And of course, then we have all these cheap freights because they take those contracts and then they still need to cover. But why do they cover them? Because you guys still taking that BS. And you can. So we finished on that. Market will be worse estimated in 2024 around 1.5 trillion. So about 100 trillion increase from 2023. Well, and look at this. By 2029, hopefully you guys survive till 2029. Hopefully I'm not gonna quit my mission to change trucking for the better. It's only 5 years away. It's going to be estimated at 1.8 trillion. So do you see? There is a growth. It's not stopping. One more time, the message I am sending, trucking is not going anywhere. Freight movement is not decreasing. We predicting actually big growth, right? Okay, let's go back to trucking. Well, the most common commodities hold up food, electronics, and furniture. So as a dispatcher, when we talk about food, remember, it can be dry goods, it can be refrigerated. Challenges for the dispatcher, of course, refrigerated commodities. Why? Because you have to spend attention on what? On extra details. First, you need to pay attention to temperatures, right? You have to make sure that you know how the reefer has to be set. Is that has to be stop and go? Is that has to be continuous? And remember, guys, especially for new people in trucking, doesn't matter if you're a new driver on the reefer or if you're a new dispatcher, remember that all temperatures are always go by BOL, bill of lading, right? Not by the rate confirmation. So please, rate confirmation can say 52 stop and go. Your driver goes and he checks in and the shipper said, wow, it's going to be avocados. We want it 48 and we want continuous. That's how it's settled when you guys have rejection due to temperature, right? Make sure you understand what is a downloadable TRU is, right? Make sure you pay attention to what? To extra picks. I don't like extra picks with the reefers. Why? Picture. Make sure you pay attention to what? To extra picks. I don't like extra picks with the reefers. Why? Picture. Let's say you're picking up stuff in California. You have 3 picks and you actually have perishable. What does it mean? That they're gonna combine different commodities, different produce. So you go and in Santa Maria, you pick up 5 pallets of strawberries. Then you drive, let's say, to Tracy, California, you pick up spinach. Every time they open the door, loading, unloading, well, you already had those 6-8 pallets of strawberries. Will that affect actually the quality of the produce? Yes, especially if you're loading, it takes not 1 day, but it takes 2-3 days. So please, new dispatchers, one-on-one, especially from California. Why?